Business on Purpose podcast.
If I could just make enough money, if I could just get to that point, then everything would be good and I could just ride out to the sunset. Please don't think that. Hey, it's Scott Beebe with the Business on Purpose podcast, and I want you to hear the name of the podcast, Business on Purpose. You know, there's a movement in the kind of the religious space around business. It's called business as mission. And so what's happening is there are people of a variety of different religious backgrounds. It could be Jewish background, Islamic background, it could be Christian background, it could be any kind of religious background where expansion is part of the desire. The transformation of people outside of yourself is part of the desire. Well, what's happening is they're realizing that the traditional missionary of any one of those religions is less and less welcome around the world as time goes on and nations become, in some respects, more closed. We're actually seeing more closing off of nations rather than necessarily an opening up of nations right now in our culture. And so in doing that, there are some that are saying, well, if we can't go in with a missionary visa, maybe what we can do is start some sort of kind of front business and then be a missionary behind that. And that's fine if that's what you want to do, but I think there's a different way. And I think there's a way that is really, really powerful. And this concept or this idea is that I'm going to start my business, I'm going to get some money, and then I'm going to do what I really like to do. I want to turn that on its head as well, in concert with the other idea that I was mentioning. What if instead you began to see your business is your mission? I remember one of my mentors, Bob Roberts, when I brought this idea of business as mission up to him that I'd heard from other people, he said, no. Business is mission. Business is mission. What if you began to see your business as the mission that you've been called on this earth to be able to accomplish? Not just the delivery of the product or service that you deliver, but the human connection, the human interaction of that relationship that is fostered, that is facilitated through the transaction of your product. What if that relationship is the ultimate underlying purpose of the business that you have started? So I want you to follow this train. You have a product or a service, a widget, a set of documents that you deliver in the flow of your business. Well, throughout the flow of that business, through the administrative process, the operational process, the sales process, the marketing process, you're going to necessarily interact with humans, with people, in most cases. Now, there are some businesses I realize are very commoditized, transactional. They're digits and bytes and widgets, and there's not a lot of human interaction. But for the most part, many of you within the sound of this podcast are in the human connection business, the human interaction business. So what if you began to see that business that you're a part of, that you have started, that you're growing, that you're building, that you're serving, that business becomes a human interaction business. So as you're going through the marketing process, you pause and you say, hey, this person that I'm marketing to, why don't I have a human conversation? A conversation about them, their family, where they're from. In the sales conversion process, what if you pause to have a human interaction moment? In the operational delivery process, when you're on site, when you're delivering that widget, what if you stopped and paused to say, hey, tell me about how this is going in your life? And all of a sudden, with the human interaction component that happens in, you'll start to get phone calls outside of the widget, outside of the service, outside of the process, the product. And instead, you'll start to get calls that say, hey, do you mind if we chat for about 20 minutes? I'm really struggling at home and I don't know what to do. Now, there are some of you that might say, I don't want that. But I want to challenge you in that area of human growth and human connection. I had the owner of about a $50 million company tell me just a few weeks ago, the thing he desires more than anything else right now is connection. Connection. And my guess is the majority of the people that you serve, in fact, maybe even you yourself, what you desire more than the next sale, more than the next deal, more than the next efficiency of process, which is a big deal coming from me. Maybe what you desire more than anything else is some sort of human connection where you can interact with other people who are having interesting struggles, interesting challenges, interesting opportunities, and be able to grow in that relationship. And if you don't need it, lift up your eyes, swivel your head, because I think you'll see people around you who need it as well. The first place to start is writing out your vision. So just go to mybusinessonpurpose.com/vision and we can help you. We've got the template. It's right there. Everything's baked in and it's totally free. All it's going to cost you is your time. mybusinessonpurpose.com/vision. We'll see you next time right here for a human connection on the Business on Purpose podcast.